YouTube was good. It's your boy, Paul Harris, aka the Crazy Uncle. Hey, guess what? This your first time tuning in. Go ahead, hit the doggone subscribe button. Hit notification bell every time I post up new content. Tasty beverage in hand, as you can see. Today we gonna talk about. Well, before I say this, y'all know how I do things, right? I get up in the morning, wipe my face, brush my teeth, check my emails, check out what so-called social media has for me because I already know social media is gonna give me one or four. So, I went to the gym, because that's my routine or whatever. So I come back and I'm watching the wonderful world of YouTube, right? And these TikTok, the YouTubers that basically all what they do, they actually like they do reaction videos on what they see on TikTok, and then it's up to us to be like, okay, is this the real deal, or is it like what they say cap or whatever? So it was this one particular part of the video where that because you got these scientists out here, they want to say, oh well, we got parallel universes, and then the so-called Mandela effect, right? So this motherfucker, he get on there and he want to say, well, the Mandela effect is real. So he goes in and see, I'm gonna tell you that it's bullshit because this motherfucker went and got a goddamn a VHS tape, and he put in Star Wars: The Empire Strikes Back, right? And it was the part where Vader and Luke they on that whatever the fuck it is, and he already to cut his hand off or whatever. And so Vader sitting up there telling it, right? Like, hey, look, he come on over, blah 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 blah. We can do this, blah blah blah. And Luke tell me, fuck all that. And then uh, Vader said, and I'm gonna try to do my best Vader voice. He said, what he said, Obi-Wan never told you what happened to your father. And then Luke said, he told me enough. He told me you killed him. He said, no, I am your father. So, for the most part, that fucked Luke up, right? So, but anyway, this person, I was about to call him bastard, but but anyway, so he popping the tape, right? So it's the same scene, but it don't say, no, I am your father. It says, Luke, I am your father. And I'm just like, okay. And everybody else like 50 motherfuckers say, yeah, I did. And then so I actually really went back and I watched the clip myself, right? And it says how I remember it. It says, no, I am your father. Now, the thing about, and so basically what happens, with this whole Mandela effect, it come from, and they actually really said it is some woman. And see, I'm gonna tell you, this is how shit gets started. A lot of you raggedy motherfuckers out there, I swear, y'all are just like sheep, right? You'll go off. I can't deal with you right now, Jerome. So in either case, right? Um, dang, too much train of thought off. Fuck. Okay, so in either case, right? So this woman And so she was like, the reason why they call it the Mandela effect in the first place is like, okay, well, she thought that Nelson Mandela died in prison in the 80s when he didn't get out until like another 10 years later. And then they was like, well, I thought he was dead. But see, here's the deal. This is what happens when people go to jail or go to prison, whatever the case may be, right? You don't hear from them, right? Then your mind, right, no matter how whacked it may be, right, you be like, oh, they did. And then once they get out of prison, right, you be like, oh, man, I thought you died in prison. And so that's how shit starts, right? So, and so then here it is, right? And then that, as we know, as the Mandela effect started. So, and then there was like, then there's other stuff on there where they was talking about the Monopoly guy. On one point, he had on eyeglasses. He had the little, well, he didn't have eyeglasses, but he had the little, whatever the fuck it is. And then there's another, matter of fact, I got the picture right here. That's what he looked like. Hold on, let's get it. Y'all see he got the little thing on his eye, right? And then now here's another one where that he ain't got it. But then they want to sit up there and holler about, okay, well, that's the Mandela effect. No, the fuck it ain't, right? You regular motherfuckers, right? Y'all need to act like really know that shit do change, right? And then we're like, well, I don't remember like that. Well, okay, it could be just for the simple fact that your ass ain't paying attention. Right? And then so I got another one for y'all. Now I won't necessarily call this the Mandela effect. Right? And for the most part, it's probably all in about how you look at certain things. For example, here's the Sun Kiss logo. Right? Now, anybody in their right mind be like, oh, that's Sun Kiss. But actually, I really look at it real closely, right? Is that saying Sun Kiss or is it saying Sin Kiss? Okay? So, so for the most part, so again, just like I say, just, listen, everybody sees shit differently. Okay? And just because you see shit differently, don't necessarily means it's the motherfucking Mandela effect. Because as I showed you that particular Sun Kiss logo, that's how I used to look. See that? See how I used to look? I guess y'all gonna sit there and holler about that's the Mandela effect too, right? And then there's yours truly, Apollos Harris, aka the Crazy Uncle. So here's the deal, people. So I'm finished. So this is how I look right now. Right? On this day, January 24th, so-called 2024. Right? So this is how I look as of right now. Okay? But I'm gonna show y'all something. That's me in uniform, right? So y'all looking at it. You see me right now, and then you see me in uniform, right? And then now I know what a lot of you motherfuckers gonna say, right? Well, you was in the army, so you wasn't allowed to have facial hair. Bullshit, because my thing is this, right? If I really I could have lied to these motherfuckers and tell them, hey, look, I got a shaving profile. Or I can sit up here and say, well, due to my so-called religious beliefs, I have to, I have to wear a beard, and so you motherfuckers, y'all just deal with it. Y'all deal with it the best way y'all can and know how. Cause I'm not gonna shave a motherfucker off for y'all, right? And then here's me, as you can see right now, I got on my motherfucking glasses, right? Well, guess what? If I take these some bitches off, right? Is that the goddamn Mandela effect? I mean, put like this, it's no different than the doggone Monopoly guy. It's just for the simple fact that what happens is that, okay, you see something and you really don't pay attention of what it really is, right? And then you go all this time, right? You thinking, oh, well, that's what it is. Only to find out that that ain't what it is. That ain't no goddamn Mandela effect. That's just your ignorant ass not paying motherfucking attention. Okay? And then they had something on there about the Berenstain Bears and like how it was once spelled versus how it's actually really spelled now. So again, a lot of this stuff which y'all talking about, it's not that it's the Mandela effect. It's just like, again, and I hate to sound like old book ass record, but basically that's all what the fuck it is. You bastards don't pay attention to shit. And for the simple fact that you don't pay attention to shit, it's the main reason why you motherfuckers actually really believe in UFOs, right? Not knowing that the United States government creates a lot of this shit. They put it out there because they already know somebody could be like, ooh, fly a saucer. But these motherfuckers, they don't never land. You don't know what these motherfuckers look like. Okay? And then they'll sit up and say, well, that's an alien. But ask yourself this question. How come they always look like us? They got to put like this. Go back and watch that one episode of Star Trek with them big head motherfuckers with all the goddamn veins and shit in their head. Right? And then you look at the shit, and then you guys really talk about the shit that happened in what was that, Roswell back in 47. And then almost 20 years later, right? Star Trek airs. Right now, it's the one about the I think it was the pilot episode, The Cage. And again, Captain Kirk wasn't the captain. It was Christopher Pike, right? And then they went down, and then them big head motherfuckers come down, and they talking blah 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 and all that kind of stuff. So basically, what the fuck they did, they took what they saw back in 47, and they actually really put it on motherfucking TV, right? But just like I said, I've always said this, right? Y'all want to sit up there and holler about aliens this, aliens that, aliens the other, right? But then I realize, how come these motherfuckers always look like us or something similar to us? How come these bastards don't look like a glob of snot? Like on, I know for those of y'all for some of y'all that are actually really old enough, y'all actually really remember the movie The Blob, where the doggone meteorite came down and it hit, and the old man, he went out there and poked it, and then it opened up, and again, it's this glob of snot. And then he took the stick, and then he took the stick, and he did this, and he looking at it, and the whole time the shit is slowly but surely coming down the stick. And then after a while, he grabbed his goddamn hand, right? And then before too long, It took its body over, right? But guess what? It didn't turn into no goddamn human being. It was still a glob of snot. It's just that this time around is bigger than what the fuck it was. And then after a while, it just kept on eating people. Still, big ass glob of snot. Right? Now, I know that I'm actually already getting off subject here, but it's just for the simple fact, right? You raggedy bastards that actually really think that the Mandela effect actually really happens, or it's an actual real thing, right? It just goes to show you. Y'all actually really don't pay attention to shit. Because then they was talking about the goddamn, what was that? The fruit of the loom logo. This is a pair of drawers, people. Are you really gonna pay attention of the goddamn logo? I mean, let's be real about this shit. Okay? And y'all motherfucker quick, huh? Mandela effect. It's listen. It's almost as bad as the mad cow disease. And then for those of y'all that like say on my previous channel, I actually really talked about the mad cow disease. Ain't no such thing as like this. Wasn't no goddamn mad cow disease. Them cows was drunk from the night previous. And I told y'all, the owner, he forgot to put the cows up. And that one cow, he got loose. He went down the street to the brewery, drank them some beer. He come back, told the rest of the cows, and then they all went down there, got fucked up, and then so when the man woke up the next morning, the cows, they drooling all at the mouth and they falling and stumbling all over where mad cow disease. And then they burnt, and like what I said that was good meat. And then they were like, wow, you know what? We can't let nobody eat this. Right? But then what do you, and I'm guilty of this, right? If I know that I'm I'll go to the stove and I'll buy some steak, I'll buy some chicken. And if I know, okay, look, I'm gonna cook this. So I season it up, and what the fuck I do? Whatever alcohol that I got, right? Then I pour a little bit on the steak or on the chicken, and I put it in the refrigerator. Let it sit for like either 24 hours or 12 hours, whatever. Then the next day, I get it, open up the bag, smell it. Smell good. If it smells good, then guess what? It's going to taste good. So what's the difference between me putting alcohol on steak versus them bastards actually really drinking? And like I said, y'all believe any goddamn thing that somebody show y'all, right? And it's just for the simple fact, y'all don't pay attention. If you paid attention, the Mandela effect won't exist, right? Y'all act like really paying attention to shit that you put like this. Y'all motherfucker paying attention to shit on some damn draws. Like, really? So this is what the fuck we do. Right? You buy cereal. They had one there talking about Kellogg's Fruit Loops. We all know how to spell Fruit Loops. right? But then again, who's to say that the actual way that you put like this? Who's to say the way that you spell fruit? Who said that that was the right? Who said that that was the right way to spell fruit? Okay, let's actually like really stop and think about this for a minute. Okay, I mean it's no different than where it's no different than because here's the deal. You can spell put like this. To my knowledge, it's two ways that you can actually really spell the word weather, and there's two ways. It's two ways that you can actually really spell the word weather, right? So I guess y'all gonna sit up here and say that's the Mandela effect too, right? But then again, y'all gonna be like, well, you know what? That ain't how it is. Yes, the fuck it is. It's just for the simple fact y'all don't pay attention. Start paying attention, people. And then, like I say, because like I say, y'all are a whole bunch, y'all like sheep. And then what's so bad about it, y'all don't even need no dog to keep y'all in check. Y'all just go along with the flow. Really don't know where the fuck you're going. Ass end up in the slaughterhouse and then you on somebody's table. Or somebody's actually really wearing you. Right? So, fact or fiction for the Mandela effect. That shit is motherfucking fiction. All goddamn day long. Now, as far as like UFOs is concerned, let's actually really stop and look at it for a minute. UFO, which means unidentified flying object, meaning if I see a goddamn insect that I ain't never seen before and that bastard is flying, guess what? Unidentified flying object, people. I mean, come on now, let's actually really stop and look at this for a minute. Just like I say, y'all quick to look at some shit that you ain't never seen before. Y'all was like, ooh, UFO. And then on this same video, now, just like I said, you know, I'm not, y'all know what I do. I don't clown nobody on what they do on YouTube, right? But it's funny because they was talking, because it was one clip where that, you know, well, I know everybody heard about the airplane where that the door flew off because of how they made the door. And then they said one guy, his shirt got tore off or whatever. And it made news, right? So then here comes somebody. So then here it is, they like, okay, well, then the motherfucker holler about, oh, well, the spiritual realm is coming. And then it was another video. It's a video out there right now where that you can see the plane. It was down there in Florida, where that you could see it. You know, sparks and shit was flying from it. Now, whether the plane actually really crashed, I don't know. But it's funny how that video didn't come out until after the door flew off. And then there was another one, they were saying something where the guy, you know, the plane, it did something what it wasn't supposed to do. And then so the parachute come out from the plane, which I ain't never seen that before. And then the plane, it landed, or the guy, he jumped out and then the parachute happens. And but the thing about it though is like, okay, the door fly off, and then here come these other two incidents, right? And then who's to say that the damn door flew off, right? So it's just like it's almost like, okay, you know what? Guess what? I shit yesterday, and it clogged up the toilet. Then somebody was like, oh, there ain't nothing. I shit, and it clogged up the whole city. See how that shit work? And then somebody said, oh, well, I shit, and my grandma shit, and Pawpaw pissed in the backyard, and a big ass tree came up. Right? It's almost like motherfucker trying to top what the fuck happened. So so again, y'all just and yeah. That's what y'all do. Right? And so just like I said, and then motherfucker, and you know, and then let's take it a step forward, right? You could be like, and this goes for you women, with some of y'all, right? You can look at a woman and she like, damn, she got a big ass. And then you look at your ass, right? And you be like, well, I want my ass look like hers. Knowing that her ass is factory original. And then what the fuck you go do? You go buy a fake ass. And you make sure that your ass is bigger than hers. Not really looking at the simple fact that the ass to leg ratio fits her perfectly. But you go out and buy a fake ass, and your ass looking and your legs looking like goddamn chicken legs. Or in other words, the ass to leg ratio don't fit. Okay? But whoever that motherfucker, that man who you try to capture, and then you be like, well, if I go buy the fake booty, he'll look at it. And he was like, nope. Ass to leg ratio all fucked up. Because look at this. This is your leg right here. And then your ass come way the fuck out here. On a little bit of ass leg. That is not how the song goes, people. All right? Then you want to go out by that fake hair, them fake nails, and then you motherfuckers go, oh, I'm keeping it real. No, the fuck you ain't. And so again, it's like, you know what? You know what? That probably could be classified as the Mandela effect too. Because I can look at you like, okay, one day you ain't got no ass. And then you go away, and then you come back. Now you got ass for days. I guess y'all want to classify that as the motherfucking Mandela effect too. Same thing with your hair, right? I look at you, you either got no hair, you looking like me by the head, right? And then, guess what? You carry your ass away, and then here you come, all this goddamn hair on your head. Oh, Mandela effect. The Mandela effect, no motherfucking such happens, okay? Right? You know, all me right here, goddamn factory original, okay? Oh, it's just like what I told y'all. I got a beard now, but I showed y'all a picture where I ain't had no beard. So I guess I'm part of the motherfucking Mandela effect too. Right? Stop believing every goddamn thing that you see on the motherfucking, as what my grandma used to say, the goddamn idiot box. Because that damn idiot box is that's exactly what the fuck is. Look, the idiot box is doing what the fuck it's supposed to do. Turning you ragged motherfuckers into idiots. Believe every goddamn thing that you see. Right? Last piece of news. The New Hampshire thing happened last night. And Trump, he kicked ass, right? Now, and then, then Haley talking about, we ain't going nowhere. So the next one is going to be in South Carolina, where she from. Now, here's the deal. I'm telling you something there, Haley. You're going to get your ass whooped in your own home state, okay? Right? And so, you know, so my thing, and then, and here's another thing too, right? If you, you know what? I really don't know who the fuck is worse, her or Biden, because this motherfucker, he get on there a while back, and then he told Charlemagne the God, right? He was like, well, look, if you don't vote for me, then you ain't black. That's discrimination, people, last time I checked. Now, and then what this bitch do, right? Do we want to see 80-year-olds running the country? That's age goddamn discrimination. And so, and for you bastards that's actually really going, for you bastards actually really going to vote for that bitch, yeah, you just as fucked up as she is. Because guess what? I know a whole bunch of 80-year-olds. And they still sharp up here, right? Apparently that bitch, she ain't too bright. Because it's just for the simple fact, oh, you 80 years old. No, bitch, Trump is 77. Biden is 81. But that motherfucker been gone. But, you know, and then y'all want to sit up there, well, what you doing? Motherfucker, I ain't running for president. I ain't running for office. I wouldn't want that shit. Because it's just for the simple fact, everybody knows that the president don't run shit. He ain't nothing but a goddamn front man. But hey, it is what it is. And I'm just like this. At least I know what the fuck Trump gonna do. I don't know what this bitch gonna do. Right? And people be like, well, Trump gonna fuck you. He gonna fuck you 7 ways to Sunday. Okay, well, guess what? I knew that when he was in office. Right? I don't know what this bitch gonna do. At least put like this. At least put like this. If I'm gonna get fucked over, right? I want somebody that I'm familiar with, right? Because it's like what one of the boys said on that it was an old Richard Pryor album. It was when, you know, they did like a collaboration with Richard Pryor, and then it was somebody else, right? And then basically they were saying, motherfucker be like, okay, he trying to take this girl out or whatever, right? And then so they were like, how you doing? I said, the fuck you mean how I'm doing, right? You know, I'm doing fine, whatever it is. And the motherfucker said, well, give me some. No, give me some of my ass. Take me out to dinner first. Take me to McDonald's. Give me a Big Mac with cheese. Right? So I can at least say that, you know what? Donald Trump gonna be like, I'm gonna take your ass to McDonald's. Get you a Big Mac with cheese. Right? Or I'm gonna put some money in your pocket. Right? And 9 times out of 10, I ain't gonna do nothing but take it back from you come income tax time, right? But that's something that is expected to happen. It's just like what the old armicator said. They say that in the army, the pay is mighty fine. They give you $100 and take back 99, right? You know, so that's something that I'm ready for. So Nikki Haley or whatever the fuck you call yourself, shut the fuck up and color. Do like what old boy did. Sit your ass down somewhere. Because ain't nobody finna vote for your motherfucking ass. Plain and simple. So, guess what the fuck y'all get to do? Tell your mama, tell your daddy, tell Big Dad, tell Big Bertha, your uncle, your auntie, your grandma, your papa, motherfucker next door, cross street, right on Falls Harris, aka Chris Uncle. I'ma holler at y'all.